and welcome to a little video where I'm just gonna read an old magazine I've gotten after I went to the dentist, and I have a whole story about how I went to the dentist, because the thing is, when I went to the dentist, when you go to the dentist and you have to get your teeth pulled, I was like this came out in 2004, so I must have been 11. I mean, this was before my birthday, so I must have been 10. No, I was 11, so I would have became 12. I'm bad at math, but anyways, this doesn't even matter. But anyways, I went to the dentist. I have to get the story out of the way. Obviously, I put it in the title that I bought this after going to the dentist. At the dentist, I had to get my tooth pulled, and it was the one in the back, left bottom, wow, whatever the freak it's called, wisdom. It wasn't a wisdom tooth yet because I was a little shit. But anyways, they put anesthetics or whatever it's called onto the tooth, right? And the thing is, he said, oh, if it didn't work yet, we will know. Just say something, and then he puts the thing on it, and it was 20 minutes and it didn't work yet, but nobody knew. So he tries to pull it, and I immediately, this is the kind of pain, I forgot how it feels like, but it's also the kind of pain that was there for a millisecond, and I literally had tears coming right to my eyes. They were just there the moment it happened. And then he saw that, and he stopped, and I was like, oh Jesus Christus. It was the most disgusting pain I've ever felt in my life, and luckily I can recall it how bad it was. But it was so bad, it wasn't a lingering pain, it was just pain in 1 millisecond away afterwards, and I never want to have that again. And after that we waited a little bit more, and then he pulled it out and it was all okay. And my dad was like, well, you can now, we went to the store, we bought a little bit of candy. Obviously I couldn't eat the candy right at the moment where I bought the candy, and I've also gotten ice cream, but not the moment, because my I had this little thing in my mouth where obviously it was bleeding, which is normal, I think. So I couldn't eat the ice cream either yet. So we went home with the ice cream, so I could eat it later. But I was also allowed to pick a magazine. This is the magazine. I have it somewhere in the basement, but I had to download it from a site that makes you download them. I don't think that's illegal. If it's illegal, please don't send me to prison. I own this originally. I can prove it, please, officer, please. And again, it's 3:30. The thing is, it's in German. The thing is, I'm from Germany, so if there's something cool, I will translate it. But here we see on the cover, Mario Golf was coming out for the GameCube, Toadstool Tour, whatever it was called in English. Obviously, there's no subtitle in the German version, or there probably was one, and they just didn't put it on the cover. But yeah, Mario Golf Pikmin 2 in a 5-page test review, and the 111 best games for the GameCube and the Game Boy Advance. This was even before the DS. The DS was really close to releasing. Also, Metro Prime 2, only infos and screenshots, no review yet, even though I think it came out 2 months after, maybe. Metro Prime 2 was a 2004 game. And Fantasy Star Online 3, it's a card game which I never played. I always kind of wanted to, but okay. But anyways, here editorial, it's basically just telling, hey, this is what you can expect from this thing. The guys and the woman that wrote it, or there's some people missing, and something about these three which isn't really, doesn't matter. Also, did you know that there's 2 F-Zero games for the Game Boy Advance, and both of them sold so badly that it wasn't F-Zero GX's fault that series went away for a while. It was literally Game Boy Advance's fault, because nobody bought these and nobody asked for them either, kinda. Okay, we have again all the big wait, there it is, Toadstools Tour. The big news are Metro Prime 2, Pikmin 2, Fantasy Star Online 3 with the card combat system, the some top 10 lists about the best games, Mario Golf, which I don't care about, never cared about it. Then we get the old Lord of the Rings JRPG. I had a friend who loved Lord of the Rings. The thing is, I didn't like turn-based games back in the day, and I also wasn't the biggest Lord of the Rings fan, but I've had a friend where I had to watch it sometimes, and it was really boring. Need for Speed 2 Underground 2, or Need for Speed Underground 2. I had this for the PlayStation 2, not the GameCube, but the PlayStation 2 version. I'm normally not a big racing fan, and the thing is, I never beaten the game for some reason. I got really far into it, but then I was like, kind of not feeling it anymore. I think there's like 2 islands, like, and on the second island, it was a little bit like GTA, where you unlock the second island, and when you're on the second island, harder missions, harder this, harder that, and it was pretty nice. Prince of Persia 2, I have to say, I've never played any Prince of Persia games. Sense of Time, never played. Prince of Persia 2, The Warrior Within, never played. Then the third one, never played the Wii one, never played the PlayStation 2's Wii, reboot, and one day I will actually, come back to it. Okay, here we got the tops and the flops. Pikmin 2, even better than the first game. Mario Golf, pretty cool. Fantasy Star Online 3, okay. Oh, Boktai, innovative Schmankerl for jedermann, which Schmankerl means like, it's really hard to find like sometimes the right translation for German words. Like, it's like not a masterpiece, but it's like a chief's kiss kind of way to say that something is like great. And yeah, Boktai was a game where you had to put the thing into your Game Boy Advance, and it sucked in like the sunlight, and it worked. I've never played it, so it's one of those games I want to play one day, but obviously I would have to get like a real Game Boy Advance and to get the real game, because I don't know how it emulates. Probably not well. Also, it's made by Kojima. Like, he worked on it. Like, I don't know if he was like the producer, director, but he was working on the game. And there's also a second game. John Woo brings Samus maybe to the cinema. Okay, that is that never turned into something, I guess, because there's no Metroid movie. Okay, the flops. Pandora Tomorrow has no release date. The car of the author or editor from the magazine died. There's no games coming out, but maybe after D3. Sasha, which I guess was one of the older guys that worked here, but he left. And the test versions of the games that they've gotten came a little bit close to the end of the magazine's, thing, where they have to, print it. Back in the day, you couldn't just put your test online and get the clicks. Back in the day, you could only print in the magazine. And if, it came after the date or shortly before the date, you had to crunch and to get the text out there. Asterix and Obelix, this is one of those really rare 3D games on the Game Boy Advance, and there's also a driver game that is kind of like this, and if you look at the gameplay on YouTube, it still kind of looks okay, but obviously it's not like wowie. But if I would have seen something like this back on the day on the Game Boy Advance, it would have been wowies. Also, we got Gamer Square. Consolero. Consolero is like one of those words that Germans use to, call themselves when they own a game on the console. Yeah, Padman, Jesus Christ. Then we got the I have this game on PC for some reason. Like, back in the day, my aunt that lives in Turkey came over, and sometimes she gave us money, sometimes she bought us stuff, and she gave us stuff. And one time it was The Incredibles for PC. Obviously, I've watched the movie, I think, one day. I can't remember anything. I have the game still sealed, I could probably put it, or I can send it to Vaga or whatever the fuck it's called, where they rate the game, and then I could make millions with it, even though it's probably like a shovelware kind of game that doesn't even matter if you have it sealed. Pokemon Colosseum Championship, never played it. And I don't even know which game this is. It's like, there's Pokemon XD and Pokemon that's Gale of Darkness is Pokemon XD. Pokemon Colosseum. Is this a game where you actually have like the Gale of Darkness, the Shadow Pokemon stuff? Is this like Colosseum Championship? Kind of sounds like more like a battle game, but I'm pretty sure it's the game where you have like also story JRPG kind of style. Battle Revolution for the Wii is one of those where there's like no Wii story or whatever. And here we got the 111 best games, the best action adventure on. Number 1 we have Wind Waker, normal, Resident Evil 0. I don't know if I would call them action adventures, but I don't think they have a horror section or survival horror, so it kind of makes sense. Beyond Good and Evil, Blood Omen 2, like Legacy of Kain, Eternal Darkness, again horror. I mean, Eternal Darkness is more like an action adventure. I mean, Resident Evil kind of also action adventure. I can't even say anything against it. Knights of the Temple, 85%. Luigi's Mansion, Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, Sense of Time, Rayman 3. Rayman 3 is here also jumping ones, which... Where's Mario Sunshine? Did they hate Mario Sunshine so much that they didn't put it into jumping ones? That is a little bit weird. You know, Rayman 3 never played it. I played a little bit of Rayman 2. Like, the jumping one section kind of looks really weak. Like, why is there no Mario Sunshine? But here we got Swings in the Cursed Mummy, also really underrated game. Here, we got Mario Sunshine under Action Adventure. Okay, Star Wars Adventure makes sense, but why is Super Mario Sunshine in the Action Adventure category? I don't think that makes a lot of sense when we have a freaking Jump and One section. I just drank some water and I'm dying. The thing is, I do all of this freestyle style, so I will not cut this out, even though I should, but... Also... It's one of those magazines that called Metroid Prime an Ego Shooter. Not totally wrong, but action adventure, you know, that fits it more. Action games, true crime, Lord of the Rings, Freedom Fighters, Ika Wuga. I mean, obviously you won't have a shoot 'em up section. Mario Party 5? Why is Mario Party... Should it be like party games? Or, yeah, Geschicklichkeit, which means like... Sorry, my body is like doing weird things to me right now. I think I'm gonna pass out. Also, why is there James Bond? Okay, James Bond, like Alles oder Nix or All or Nothing, was like a third-person shooter. That's why they didn't put it into Ego Shooter, but Action Party. But yeah, this is there's some weird things going on here. Jumping once, Billy Hatcher always wanted to play that. Yeah, I'm gonna play that one day soon, probably emulated, probably. But yeah, Rayman 3 is the best jumping one. Then we got Sonic, Crash Bandicoot, the not so good ones, and Billy Hatcher, you know, that looks really weak. Metroid Prime, best ego shooter. Time Splitters 2, best multiplayer ego shooter of all time. Together with Nightfire and Counter-Strike 1.6. If I had to pick 3 ego shooters in multiplayer, it would be those 3. Like, Nightfire is very underrated. I never see someone say, oh, that's one of my favorite ego shooters or multiplayer games. Time Splitters 2 is not that underrated. It's kind of known, but also kind of not known in modern times, I guess, mostly. I freaking love the characters in that game, and I do hope THQ soon will reveal the remasters or maybe a new game. I just want it. Also, Agent in Crossfire. It was okay. It had like a really cool grappling beam where it could grab onto anything. Like, the grappling beam was a cool grappling beam. There was like one in Nightfire 2 that could only go like to specific sections though. But in Agent Crossfire you could go anywhere. It was like you could fly through the maps in multiplayer. It was kind of cool. Monkey Ball 2, great like puzzle game. Geschicklichkeitsspiel it's a little bit like a puzzle, but not really. It's like more like you have to, you know, be really good with your with the controls, let's say, like that. Puyo Pop Fever, never played it. Bomberman Generations. If this 91% would have been for the single player, I would have literally cried, but it says multiplayer review test thing. Because otherwise I would have literally cried. That did not deserve 91%. I hate that game, and I played the single player and it was bad. I got stuck once and I just quit. It was hard for... It was really unusual for me to quit a single player game as a kiddo. Mario Kart Double Dash, best racing game. I agree. F-Zero GX, fucking hardcore game, but I should stream that too one day. Best beat 'em up games. Super Smash Bros. Melee. This is not one of my proudest faps. He read a joke. I rented out Soul Calibur 2 from the video game store for like a weekend. I did the same with Rumble Roses. With Soul Calibur 2 I tried to play the game normally, but when I saw Ivy or Eevee, I masturbated to her the whole weekend, kind of like. I looked at her, I played with her, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to masturbate. And that wasn't the goal, but the goal of Rumble Roses for the PlayStation 2 when I rented it out from the video store was to masturbate the come out of my cock to the game. You know, back in the day we didn't have porn on the internet and stuff like that. Then we also got the best role-playing games. I don't think the GameCube had many of those. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, 88%. I mean, it wasn't a bad game, but 88% no. I never played it in multiplayer though. I didn't have a Game Boy Advance. and obviously I didn't have friends who had the cable, and you know, it would have been cool if you could have played it normally. Skies of Arcadia Legends also is on my list, but the thing is, I kind of want a retranslation thing, because I recently saw an interview where the developers of the localization said they basically just rewrote pretty much all of it. Like, they kind of wrote it how they wanted to write it without using or respecting the original script, and that interview made me think, Jesus Christ, do I really want to go through that? Fantasy Star Online 1 and 2, I played it a little bit recently on my emulated GameCube, I guess. It's a little bit clunky, but it's still kind of good. But yeah, not many other. Also, Lost Kingdoms 2 From Software game. Back in the day when nobody really knew From Software except for like Kingsfield a little bit sometimes. Oh, Tony Hawk's Underground 1, had it for the PlayStation 2, is my favorite Tony Hawk's game. Will probably stay for it. Like, Tony Hawk's Underground 1 had like the best mix between epicness, like wow, that's epic, and craziness. Like, Tony Hawk's Underground 2 was still fucking great, but it was also like really random kind of thing. I also had it wasn't Beach Spikers. Beach Spikers was like an exclusive volleyball game for the GameCube, but I had like a PlayStation 2 volleyball game. It was my sister's, but it's kind of mine then one day. It wasn't really good. And the best strategy game, Pikmin and Goblin Commander. Sorry. Best Simulations. The Sims. Not like the real Sims. I had Sims 1, but is this like the normal Sims games? Like the Sims brechen aus, like weird subtitle, but I had the Sims game for the GameCube. It was okay. It had like a story kind of mode where you could play a little bit of story missions, was pretty nice, or like the character's life. Having a Wonderful Life was one of my biggest disappointments. Coming off after a Back to the Nature for the PlayStation 1, it felt so much worse. It wasn't bigger, it was smaller. A Wonderful Life felt way smaller than a Back to the Nature. That was like the worst thing about the game. It didn't feel you were moving upwards onto something bigger, it felt you moving downwards. There were no mountains to really explore, no big festivals except like 2 or 3. It was so much worse. And sadly, this felt like a kind of harvesting game that made the downward fall happen, and it never really quite recovered. There were a few good DS games. Magical Melody was meh. Animal Wait was one of the good ones again. They're kinda good. And like a weird tree game, Tranquility Tree, was okay too. And now the best game, I love how only the GameCube gets like these little tags, but then the Game Boy Advance gets like it gets like this tiny section. Like, it doesn't get any of these big things. It only gets like, yeah, you know, here's some pinball, here's some Mario Kart Super Circuit, here's some Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. I don't think where's Minish Cap? Like, wouldn't it make more sense to put Minish Cap here? Also, I love how best action adventure is like Zelda, Castlevania, Metroid. Best ego shooter, obviously there were many, I guess. Tomb. Best role-playing game though, Golden Sun, Pokemon Fantasy Star Collection, Golden Sun. Oh, this is the second Golden Sun, right? And it's the first one. Breath of Fire 2, Super Nintendo port. Best strategy game, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance Wars 1, Onimusha Tactics, WarioWare. I mean, not really interesting. The hits of the E3. Okay, this was the E3 of 2004. So we had Spider-Man 2, Chuckle, Shrek 2, Tony Hawk's Underground 2, Atari. You know, back in the day when Atari was still existing. Yu Yu Hakusho, really good anime. Please, Togashi, make some more Hunter x Hunter. I mean, Namco, Barton Kaitos, you know? Monolith Soft, which then got bought by Nintendo in 2006 or 7. Also, this looked like a really good. Okay, they didn't have a title. 2004 was where they announced Twilight Princess, but they didn't have a title. That where Shigeru Miyamoto came on the stage. You know, like there's many reaction videos of it on like YouTube where he comes on the stage and goes like, "Hey, miss me yet?" Where it has the realistic art style again. Like 2004. Look at this. Path of Radiance for the GameCube, Fire Emblem, Mario Party, Mario Golf, Mario Tennis, Mario Donkey Kong, Metroid Prime 2, Paper Mario, the Thousand Door thing, Star Fox Assault, I think, Pikmin 2, Force Wars Plus, and Twilight Princess. Like, obviously, it maybe didn't have like the most bigness names. I mean, it had Zelda, and you know, that's like enough. But obviously, it doesn't look like wowie. But still, like, some of these games are like the best of the best on the GameCube. Metroid Prime 2. Fucking Guys wasn't that great. I still have to play it one day too. I mean, you have the best Fire Emblem that many people say is the best. You have the best Paper Mario for most people. For me, Twilight Princess is the best Zelda game, but obviously it's on the Wii. Shrek 2, funny like the Kino hit. The thing is, I love this game because of the co-op mode. I never owned the game, but I always went in from the video store to play it with friends. It was really, really great. Spider-Man 2, also again, a game I only had from the video store every once in a while. I owned the first Spider-Man movie game. It was not that great, but this was like open world, and you had like side quests, and I think I got stuck at the Magneto boss, like where it's like instead of a theme park kind of thing. I got stuck there for a long time. I think that's not like a me problem, like every time you go online, you see other people getting stuck there too. And their review about it was, it's not a review, it's like a preview. Very good. Oh, Time Splitters 3 did perfect. I never owned the game myself. We played it on a PlayStation 2 at a friend's house all the time. But Time Splitters 2 was still the king for us. Like, we played through this game with the campaign. But for us, when we played like multiplayer modes and stuff, it was still Time Splitters 2 mostly. Even though this has like this cool mode where you can ride as a cat, like the cat racing mode thing. But yeah, like the train level was great, the mansion level, I think this was like an old World War II kind of inspired level. There were like many future levels. It was a great game. I really want to replay them, but they don't make it easy to replay them, because the thing is, the campaign is like great, but it gives you the feeling of, I want to play this in multiplayer, but I can play this in multiplayer alone, sadly. Oh, they even have a thing that actually goes better than very good. I thought very good is like the ultimate one, but it goes up to super. And yeah, Metroid Prime 2, my favorite in the series. And look at this penis boss. I never realized how much he looks like a penis. I also don't remember his name. Also, I love how it says genial, like genius, big penis boss. And yeah, Metroid Prime 2. The thing is, I don't want to read through all the text. I just kind of want to see what happened that year and see like if I'm okay with like the review, how much they gave to the game. Also, super. I mean, maybe this is like the foreshadowing to Super Paper Mario. I have to be honest, I played always just a little bit of it, but I never beat the game. I know bad, but the thing is, it didn't even run well on my PC. But now that I've upgraded my PC, I think I can emulate it well. And yeah, I do think, Beautiful Joe 2 even. Also Super, Jesus Christ, like I thought it's more like a niche game, but Super, or you can't see it, but it says Super instead of just very good. It's kind of the kind of game where I would say, they would probably think it's very good, or it's gonna be very good, instead of, actually, also when Platinum was still called Clover Studio. Again, a game I've never played. I have to also play those two games, and maybe the third one, but I think that was like a multiplayer beat 'em up kind of thing. X-Men Legends, I don't care about X-Men Cape stuff. Where Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, I thought it was like an Xbox exclusive always. Also, if you got an abo or abonnement or subscription of this magazine, you could get this cool GBASP value pack 6-in-1. Like, you get headphones, like probably these but cheap ones, you get like a light, you get like a dot charger, whatever the fuck that is, and tons of stuff that looks very not that I need. Okay, the most wanted games. Here, Pokemon Code is here, Resident Evil 4, Paper Mario, Pikmin, Killer 7, okay. I wouldn't have expected Killer 7 to be like a game people look forward to. Like, again, a niche game. Obviously, it came from the Capcom 5 like Resident Evil 4 too, and there was also PNG 3, and what was the fourth one? There was a cancelled one, like there was a cancelled game, but I don't know if it then turned into the Capcom 4 because it was cancelled, and then I would still be missing one. I don't remember that one though. But yeah, most were Conan, like Nintendo Puzzle Collection, never even heard of that one. Metro Room 2, Shrek 2, like games people were looking forward to, Sonic Advanced, like, you know, StarCraft Ghost, Jesus Christ, you saw this every month in every magazine, and one day you never saw it again. Wasn't there like a leakable build of it leaked recently? Not leakable, but like little playable leak. But yeah, you know, one day I would really like to see, to get it leaked, what, you know, can be played. But yeah, like other games that have a thing, like Jesus Christ. Wait, this is just a list of all the best rated games, or not the best rated games, or is it like what is tested in this magazine? No, it's like it has many older ones. Like this basically like at the start where it just shows you other jumping ones, like Tak Onimachtes Jujus, which got 83%. There's Tiny Tasmanian Tiger, 61%, Vex, 72, Wallace and Gromit. Like it just probably shows you, hey, you know, there's also a couple of these games, maybe check them out. Tour Revolution, I had that game, I still have it. It was freaking hard, I only beat it with cheats, and it wasn't bad. Like maybe if I would have gone up with like the first few Turok games, I would have hated it, but I kind of enjoyed it for what it was. But even as a kid I was like, okay, it's not very great, but still pretty okay. And yeah, here we got all the people that work in the magazine. It has like some awards like this for 18 plus people only, import from America, import from Japan. Spoiler, I don't know why you would spoil things like that during a review. You know, this is like 2004, this is 18 years ago. Like this guy is 51, no wait, 41 now. Who's gonna be the oldest one here? Hans, 33. Jesus, he would be 51 now. I wonder if these people, you know, what they did afterwards. No wait, he's 83, so he would be like 56 now. Now if they just continued, if they switched to like online review stuff, if they switched to like having their own YouTube channel. Also, Game of the Month is Fantasy Star Online 3, Boktai, Zero Sam, F-Zero GP, CT Special Forces, whatever only, Mario Golf, only 85% in multiplayer and single player for Pikmin 2 had multiplayer. Also Games Convention, you know, back in the day it wasn't Gamescom, it was Games Convention, it was in Leipzig, you know, in the northeast of Germany, or east, not in the west here in Cologne. Mario Golf Toadstool Tour, and you know, a little bit of a tutorial, a little bit of a screenshot here and there, 6 courses to pick from, like Caribbean or the desert. You know, this was back in the day when Mario Golf actually felt like Mario Golf. You know, look at the mushrooms, the pipes. Like now if you look at Mario Golf Tour, Rush, whatever the frick it, I think that was the 3DS one, but the Mario Golf for the Switch, it doesn't look anything like a real Mario game. Also, I love that there's a Mount freaking Mario more. Jesus Christ. But yeah, you know, they even put it against like Tiger Woods or Ace Golf. I don't know what Ace Golf is, that kind of looks more like a Wii game. A PA Tour, it's like the best golf game, I guess. That's what they're saying. Fantasy Star Card Evolution. Again, you know, you could actually play online on the GameCube if you had the adapter thing. I kind of was thinking about getting it back in the day for Fantasy Star Online 1 and 2, but I just got my adapter for my PlayStation 2 because the fat PlayStation 2 didn't have internet adapter things. So the Slim had it. I had the fat one. So I bought it for the PlayStation 2 instead, because there were way more games, like also FIFA, Tony Hawk. But yeah, it's a card game. It would always look a little bit interesting, but obviously, you know, I think even Fantasy Star Online fans probably were a little bit, not disappointed, but they probably thought, why a card game? You know, also memory card from freaking Big Ben. I had a Big Ben third-party controller that cannot die. All my third-party controllers are dead. Like my original GameCube controller though still works. But yeah, you know, price 55 euros. Better story mode. Hard card game. Online mode. Technisch kaum verbessert. Technically it's not that much better than the first two games. Bogda, the sun is in your hands. You won't believe this, but this game is not suited for rainy weather. Here are our ideas for a sequel. Maybe Kojima read this. Or it's a joke like rain die. So you can only play it when it's raining. Wind die, you can only play it when it's windy. Or snow die, you can only play this when it's snowy. Okay, I thought they actually meant it seriously, but reading that kind of makes you think, okay. But yeah, I really want to play this one day. Geh doch mal in die frische Luft. Du kannst doch nicht die ganze Zeit nur auf dem Ding hängen. Du kriegst noch viereckige Augen. Okay, that's like the thing where your parents tell you, hey, go outside. You can't just sit in front of the TV all day. Your eyes will turn into squares. You know, that's what he's basically saying. So now, you know, you can tell your mom, haha, mom, I'm gonna go outside and play there. But yeah, you know, only manco or con is, you know, you can't play it when it's not sunny, I guess. F-Zero GP Legend. I mean, F-Zero game, I guess, body. GBR, which looks like the Super Nintendo one, which kind of killed the series, but, you know, Nintendo, please do one again. I'm sick of people always saying, where's my F-Zero? Please make a new one. Also, Zero Sam Advance on the Game Boy Advance looks really ugly. Too pixelated, too many pixels, I guess. You know, it looks like it doesn't look good graphical wise. Also, I like how they actually show you like the controller things, like where you can do stuff with your buttons. Oh, the URBs. I played it on a GameCube emulator like a few weeks ago, more like 2 months ago. It crashed, and then it just didn't work afterward anymore. Final Fantasy 1 and 2 for the Game Boy Advance. For many people, the Game Boy Advance ones are like the best ones. Like, because they add like a few new extra things, like pixel remasters kind of take the things away, they just look better. New Capcom Studio. Oh, they're talking about Clover Studio here. And they're talking about, you know, Shinji Mikami, I think, is also working on this, but maybe they say it. Oh yeah, Shinji Mikami, producer for Resident Evil and Devil May Cry, and Hideki Kamiya, Beautiful Joe. Okay, so even back then, you know, they like, if those two would make a new studio nowadays, that would be more like than just a little tiny, you know, headline thing here, I think. But yeah, you know, I think Clover Studio kinda only made Okami, and then they were like, oh really god, gaming with, why this again? Six City Pursuit, Consolero, like nobody. Oh wait, if you also get an abonnement more, oh wait, you could probably choose between like Gamerswear, or if you want to get the sick Game Boy Advance package. I would rather have none of those two things. Pikmin 2, Ab in die Botanik. And yet they describe all the different yellow Pikmins, purple Pikmins, white Pikmin. Also, we always love this kind of art style for the Pikmin, you know, cover and, you know, overall pictures. You know, like the real life mix between them. And overall, it's a fantastic looking game. Like, the grass textures, I mean, I'm pretty sure they were just photographed, but it was, ooh. Oh wait, they're actually making also ads. I mean, it's probably like the same thing. Like Playzone probably is. It is the PlayStation 2 end zone. Like this is the end zone, like Nintendo zone, and this is the PlayStation zone. I was like, why are they making ads for PlayStation 2 magazine? But they probably have like the same publisher. Okay, hardware. Oh, 5.1 box system. I always wanted one of these. Like the thing is, when I was a kid, I had all my games just playing on the television. And then later on, nowadays I have it all over headphones. I always wanted to have like this looks like a tiny system. I only had a 2.1 system. I even have, yeah, it's from Sennheiser thing. If I can, the thing is it's broken, but I still have the box from it on my closet for some reason, and it's like there. and it's like 2.5, and it was kind of like this, like it's one of these boxes and obviously 2 little boxes only. But I always wanted to have like a sick 5.1 system. Cube controller, 18 bucks. Like back in the day, third-party controllers were the way to go, kinda. Like a game controller, 40 bucks, obviously not bad. I mean, it's kind of like a pro controller, you can get them for 40 or 50. But you always went for the third-party controllers, because nowadays third-party controllers are like kind of way worse. Like sometimes they have still a cable, blah blah blah. But back in the day, you could pick any third-party I mean, not any, but you could pick a third-party controller. It wasn't that bad for the price, especially Sennheiser. I mean, I have a Sennheiser box. No wait, looking at this logo, I didn't have a Sennheiser. Okay, I can't see the logo from here and I want to get up. But yeah, my box 2.1 system wasn't that great. It was okay for a Wii, I guess. 64 MB memory card. I never had a big one like this. I only had like an 8 MB one. Why? Like it says no Nintendo license. Like why is it needed to have a Nintendo license? Like if it works, it works. Like it even says there's like nothing bad happening to the card if you just put it into a GameCube. I don't get what they would say. You know, it doesn't have a freaking Nintendo license. Also, user. Or also the thing is, I posted this from not very often. I mostly use the GamePro one. Wait. Weak women. Moin, Fabian. Good morning. Many women in the last magazine wrote that girls can play way better than men, and now I have to defend myself or our honor as men. I also know 4 Zockerinnen, like 4 gamer girls. My aunt, she showed me the first RPG, or a girl out of my class that helped me with Lufia. She has good taste. I hope they fell in love together. And we got the third one. Oh, he already has a girlfriend. I mean, Freundin can be Freundin, like friend or girlfriend. She is a GBA gamer. And I had to play through the mountain dungeon in A Link to the Past for her. And we got my sister, a PlayStation 2 owner, but she prefers to play on my GameCube. And even though she's good at the game, I had to help her beat the boss in the Mushroom Forest in Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. But yeah. What the fuck? And then Jürgen, that works on the magazine, says Servus, which is a greeting in like southern Germany. I just wanted to say that I never met a woman that can play video games well. But it makes me happy that there's many women that, you know, came and said they can play video games well. Well, Jürgen, you know, that's a little bit sexist that you say that you never met a woman and that's why you think there's no woman that can play video games well. But, you know, Jürgen, that's your opinion. This was 2004. 2004, you were allowed to say this. You can still say this nowadays, but you will get this shitstorm. So, yeah, I mean, this was a really catchy, like, headline kind of thing. Like, I don't want to read all of this. Like, this is like talking about Nintendo. Nintendo is not gonna die. And there's people saying, oh no, where's my old where? No. But yeah. Oh wait, there's criticism. Who cares? The thing is, I can't make this too long because there's the Xenoblade 3 Direct soon. And there's still 24 pages. Like, there must be at least something cool again. Oh, Metal Gear Solid, the Twin Snakes. Oh, it's like they asked people for their feedback. What's your opinion on it? Too protsy, like too cool, kinda. More would have been, or less would have been more, 8%. Oh, the presentation or the presentation. It's okay. Gameplay is the king. Or 80% for genius. It's like an interactive movie. This is something that Kojima would have liked to hear, probably, from the Germans. Did you want to have a multiplayer mode? 50% for yes, 30% no, 21% yeah, you know, it could have been cool, but Which agent adventure do you like the most? 8% Mission Impossible, 24% Splinter Cell, and 70% Twin Snakes. And do you think it's, the Umfang, like the whole package? 50% for, it could have been longer. 25%, yeah, it's pretty long. It's like perfect. Like the way it says it's like super. The game really makes you play a long time, which isn't true for the first Metal Gear Solid, but I guess you could also see like it's like a perfect length. And 26%, no, too short. And again, these are all the magazines that they had: the Xbox Zone, End Zone, PT Action, PT Games Hardware, widescreen, I guess, for movies, and the Kids Zone. The Kids Zone was like for anime, like Digimon, Pokemon, like anything that was like on RTL 2. That was like the big, RTL 2 was like the big anime kind of channel. Like it had anime going from like 1 p.m. to like 4 p.m. and then afterwards it was like Full House and stuff like that, like sitcoms for the older ones. And then at 7 p.m. it was back to Dragon Ball. And back in the day, we had magazines that gave you cheat codes. Or I knew this International Superstar Soccer trick that also worked on the Super Nintendo version, which was my first game ever. International Superstar Soccer Deluxe was the first video game I ever played on like my uncle's Super Nintendo. I didn't know about the trick back in the day, but I still owned the game. Also, I owned the Super Nintendo that my uncle owned, and then obviously I had the game too. But yeah, back in the day, we had freaking cheat codes. Like you could buy a magazine, and the magazine would sometimes tell you cheats. Back in the day, in 2004, I also already had internet. So these were like not needed because in Germany there was Spieletips and cheats.de. And Spieletips, I even posted something there about Digimon World 1 once. I posted a trick, I don't know which kind of trick, but there was also Harvest Moon cheat codes. I always wanted to have an action replay thing. Like action replay was like, I want this, but it was like $40, and that just for cheat codes. Sometimes you also could find like a bundle where you can buy the action replay with like a book that has like codes for every game that came out so far. Obviously those were like kind of outdated after a while, so online would have been the way to go. What does it even mean? M in like a bracket. Lots of money, you never get hungry. Pokemon Colosseum. Crypto Pokemon. Wait, where's it called Crypto Pokemon instead of Shadow? Gale of Darkness was the one with the shadows. Or it's like tip and tricks, I guess. I was like, why are they showing so much about this game? Even though it should have been in the previous section or the other section. Conan. Or it's like a little bit of tricks like, how do I beat shooting enemies? Oh wait, you could also do their review. Like, how old are you? Back in the day I would have been like 11 or 12. What systems do you own? Back in the day I had a PlayStation 2, Game Boy Color, GameCube, and a PC. Which school grades would get this magazine? The text, I didn't really read any right now. The layout, it was pretty colorful. I would say it's 3 or 2. The cover, I'm not the biggest fan of that Mario render of him playing golf. I would say it's not catchy enough. It's like Mario playing golf. Maybe make it so that he smashes someone onto the head with the golf club, and I would give it 1. Like the 1 is like the best in Germany and 6 is the worst. Also, I just recently learned that the American system only goes from A to F, but without the E, because parents thought the E stands for excellent. That's why they put them out, so it's only A, B, C, D, and F. I always thought it goes from 1 to 6. Like in Germany, it goes from 1 to 6. 1 is the best, 6 is the worst. So, if it would be like this in Germany, there would only be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, which is kind of stupid. And they just ask, what could we do better? What other magazines do you read? You know, and oh, they're showing the thing is they are showing their collections here, but I mean I can zoom in. The thing is, even if I can see Sonic, Sonic 2. Hello, I don't know how to do a PDF data thing or like this. There's Sonic 1, 2, 3, Oddworld's Odyssey or Apes Odyssey. This is maybe Donald Duck Quack Attack, but obviously Pokemon Blue, Red. It's kind of hard to see any other games. Like Metroid Prime here. Is this the first when Evil? For some Pokemon trading cards, I think. Another GameCube. Lots of Enzo magazines. Some Mega Drive games, I think. But yeah, what does Julian have? Yes, Terranigma! Julian, Götz! Reminds me of Mario Götze, which shot the winning goal in the World Cup for Germany against Argentina. Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Mystic Quest, Secret of Mana, Sonic. No, that's not Sonic. I don't know. Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Star Fox Adventures, Soul Calibur 2, Rogue Squadron, Smash Bros. Melee, Worms 3D maybe, Mario Kart Double Dash, Wind Waker, Mario Sunshine. I would say Pokemon. Jesus Christ, this guy, he has good taste. Mario All Stars. Like, just for Terranigma, he deserves the golden crown of this collection. Then we have Sabine, no, the female reader. I could probably guess all of these if I know the games. Burnout 2, Harry Potter, Fantasy Star Online 1 and 2, Pikmin 1, Mario Smash, like Smash Bros, Luigi's Mansion, Star Fox Adventure, Mario Sunshine, Super Monkey Ball. I would say it's not True Crime, Frick. SSX maybe, Tricky. The Zelda collection with like Ocarina of Time, Master Quest, Beyond Good and Evil, Soul Calibur 2 again. No wait, is this? No wait, this is Sonic. Maybe. This is Beach Spikers, Doshini Giant. Soul Calibur 2, I had that. Mario Party. Doesn't say Ikaruga, but Ikaruga is not that colorful on the cover. Some nice pictures of like Link. She had like her Game Boy games like with the boxes still. Awakening of Asia the Seasons 2. Those are worth a lot nowadays. But yeah, those are some nice collections. But the guy with Terranigma, he's a king. The king is of kings. And then we also have like this editor thing, the column, like a column where someone says their opinion that isn't really needed. Like, do we really need Mario 152 and Halo 99? I mean, Tetris 99 is pretty great. Ragnarok Online! Oh, like, a little bit before this, I think there was also the Bravo Screen Fund that had a demo disc for Ragnarok Online, and Jesus Christus Almighty. I had like 14 days free trial, and I love it. I loved it so much. I actually, got it. I actually, made my parents tell me, or I actually begged my parents, please, can I play this? It costs monthly. Also, I love how. Okay, this was before the E3. So was it known that they will show a new Zelda before they showed it? Because they are saying Nintendo is gonna show the new Zelda on the E3, but they keep calling it Wind Waker 2 when you should have known that it's not Wind Waker 2. Also, there's again StarCraft Ghost. But yeah, that's kind of weird that it was maybe known that Nintendo announces a new Zelda, but otherwise they would have seen pictures of it, right? Like they wouldn't use a Wind Waker style picture. And there's another ad for the Kids Zone, which is this like the last page? Like if you like, this is kind of weird. Like wouldn't the like this is what it shows on the not on the cover but on the uncover. Like obviously this is the cover, and if you look at the other side, there would be this magazine's ad, which is kind of weird. Like you would think on the back there would be something like saying what's in the magazine, but I guess it would make sense here. Beyblade, woohoo, Inuyasha, woohoo. But yeah, that's the end zone from the year I got one of my tooth pulled. And you know, it was pretty painful that one time, but you know, I survived. Could have been worse. I mean, it was pretty bad. But yeah, I'm now gonna go watch the Xenoblade 3 Direct in 15 minutes. So have a good day. Hopefully you enjoyed looking a little bit through a German magazine. I may do another one. I had so many of these magazines. Mostly GamePros. I had the GamePro since 2004. I bought them all for like 7 years till 2011 or maybe even 2012, 13 around that time. There's like so many. I also have a Banzai, which has like some classic manga like Hunter x Hunter, Naruto. You know, it is fun to sometimes look through the old stuff again. You know, obviously it would be a little bit more fun to go through like the whole magazine in like a real setting where I can, you know, look through it with like a real camera, but you know, that would be even harder to record and stuff. So I hope you enjoyed it. I will make a few more of these maybe, where I don't also have to watch the time. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it and have a nice day. I said this already. Yeah, have a nice day, everyone, every person out there.